Hi, this video will demonstrate integration between Skybox Change Manager and the ServiceNow ticketing system. Before we start our demonstration, let me introduce you to the different components we'll be using today. Our network architecture is pretty simple. We have a single Cisco ASA firewall that's been imported into Skybox, and it's being managed by ASDM. Here we can see the firewall with some default any rules. We're going to be creating some tickets in ServiceNow and then see that ticket data transferred into an automatically created Change Manager ticket to be processed within Skybox. And then finally, we'll see automatic implementation back on the Cisco firewall viewed through ASDM. In a production environment, we would have a polling application running in the background looking for newly created tickets and copying that ticket data into the Skybox ticket for processing. Today, that application will be played by a script that I'll run after creating the ServiceNow ticket so we can watch the process a little bit easier. We're going to look at two scenarios today. One is a ticket that causes no policy violations. Once this ticket is submitted to ServiceNow and the Skybox integration transfers that data to Change Manager, we'll see that ticket move all the way through the process unimpeded, and the change will be implemented on the firewall. After the implementation, we'll re-import the configuration from the firewall into Skybox. Firewall assurance will then match the change it observed on the firewall and compare it to the approved and implemented ticket, and will mark the ticket verified and report that verification status back to ServiceNow. In the second scenario, we'll import data that will cause a policy violation. At this point, the ticket will stop in the Change Manager process and allow us to approve or deny the ticket based on the risk that imposes on the system. Okay, let's get started on our demo. I'm going to start by copying the details of a change from a little text file I have here into a new ServiceNow ticket. In a production ServiceNow ticket, there would typically be a form with fields for source, destination, and service. In this demo, we're just going to put that data into the description field. We'll give the ticket a title, and we'll submit it. Now we'll pop down and run our script that emulates our polling application. This will pick up that newly created ticket and copy it to Skybox. And we can see it's just created ticket 33. So if I come here into Skybox Change Manager, I can see ticket 33 has just been created. And it's now moving through the process. So it's at technical details right now. And if I refresh this, we'll see that it's moved all the way through the process and is sitting at the verification stage now. We'd want to notice that it skipped the risk assessment phase because there were no policy violations associated with the requested change. If we go back to ServiceNow, we'll open up that ticket that we created, and we can see that it's moved all the way through the process, it's past implementation, and it's waiting at the review stage. The process, Skybox has been updating the ServiceNow ticket at each stage. So right now it's saying that the change has been implemented, and it's awaiting verification. Now if we go over here to ASDM, we can see the change has been implemented on the firewall. So at this point, we'll want to go back to Skybox and import that change and run change tracking. I have a task sequence here that I'll launch. Normally this would be an automated procedure that would occur multiple times throughout the day. This is going to take a minute to run, so I'm going to pause the video right now and let it run through these different tasks. So now our task is complete. The new configuration has been imported and the changes have been analyzed. So now we'll go back to Change Manager, and inside of verification we can see that indeed the change is showing up as being verified. And if I look at my ServiceNow ticket, I can see that the ticket has been implemented and verified, and the ticket is now closed. Okay, so now we've seen our first demonstration, which is a ticket with no policy violations. Now we'll go through the same process again, only this time we'll import some changes that will cause a policy violation. So we'll start back with a new ticket. I'll go to my little cheater text file again. We'll paste our changes in, give it a title, and we'll submit that. We'll run our poller again. Back to Change Manager, we see new ticket number 34. So the ticket's been created. It's running through the process. It's in technical details right now. We're going to see it stop at risk assessment. So here it's stopped at risk assessment. So I've got my two changes. And if I look at the changes and look down below, I can see that the proposed changes are causing some violations, or would cause violations if the change was implemented. I see violations that would occur in both my PCI policy as well as my rule policy. Now this risk can either be accepted or denied. So it could be demoted back to maybe a network administrator to make the change a different way, or it could be rejected all the way back to the requester. We'll go ahead and promote it. This is going to move it on to the implementation phase, where it will be automatically implemented like the change before, and move all the way into verification. So there it's moved all the way to verification, and we can see that in the verified stage it isn't verified yet. Go back to our ASDM. We can see those new changes that we just pushed with ticket 34. ServiceNow. We can see that request, again, awaiting verification. Once again, we'll run our collection process, and I'll pause while it runs. Okay, back to Change Manager. We'll see that the ticket is now verified. Bada bing. And in ServiceNow, we'll also see that the ticket has been verified and it's now complete and closed. So there you have a demonstration of integration between ServiceNow and Skybox's Change Manager. Hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you.